Have you guys, heard of, binary opposition? Let me explain. Now, binary opposition is very complex. I don't expect just any random fucker to know what I'm talking about, because this is some next level media studies right here, guys. Like, I don't even expect some media students to know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'll explain it anyway. Binary opposition is the concept of... Now, stay with me here, okay? Okay? It's the concept of, good and evil. Now, this concept is the cornerstone for most, if not all, storytelling. And without it, your story might be missing something. Not only will it allow us to show badass fights, awesome stories, but it will allow us to show characters in different situations, allow us to understand our characters, and allow us to see their response to a situation that the villain has put them in. And it will allow us to show interesting and downright cool villains. Villains that make us go, holy shit, oh my god! That's fucking crazy, guys. Now, some of you probably already ignored what I just said. Hell, some of you might be even masturbating right now. But if you're listening and you're still confused, then I'll just sum it up by saying these two things. Media studies is a waste of time, and Killmonger's the absolute worst villain ever. For some godforsaken reason, people keep sucking the dick of Killmonger, like he's the best fucking villain ever.
But Killmonger is different. He's got compelling and relatable reasons.
What? Oh my god. Yeah, that's so compelling, guys. Let me kill all the children, please.
All in all, Killmonger was an interestingly sympathetic and multi-layered enemy, on par with the likes of characters like Magneto.
Well, I mean, that is kind of true. Like, you're right. They're both on the same level, because they're both equally shit. Now, before I go in and talking about Killmonger, I just want to quickly go over the Black Panther movie. Like, we can't even begin to talk about Killmonger without talking about T'Challa. I mean, that's one of the main components of binary opposition. T'Challa in Civil War, well, to put it bluntly, he was a badass. This guy was able to get Bucky running, and Bucky did this shit. Oh my god. Bullets didn't exist for him. So knowing all of that, how did his standalone movie do it? How'd they make this badass into a very interesting and complex character for the audience? They didn't do anything for him. Instead, they proceeded to beat him with a bat, piss on his fucking head, stab him multiple times in the heart, drown him 17 fucking times, and then made a movie about him. My problem with him in the movie is the fact that there's no tension. The guy is basically unkillable. Bullets don't harm him, and these guys consistently use bullets. So how do you tell an interesting story with that kind of character for 2 hours? Yeah, you can't. And he also has no flaws. He is basically Black God. He's a good fighter, a good king, so what the fuck? Like, no one questions him when he makes a decision. Like, no one says, you're retarded for killing all the starving kids in Uganda. Like, there's one moment when the guy from Get Out You Bitch doesn't like the fact that he let Claw escape. And this one plot point makes him side with Killmonger near the end of the movie.
Hey, that's actually pretty good.
No, shut up. Hey, you know what could have stopped that whole thing from happening? If T'Challa just said, hey dickhead, we had him, then he got kidnapped by some people. Also, I think one of the guys who took him is from Wakanda. But we can't have that, guys. If we did, Killmonger would have already died stepping foot into Wakanda. Because we need a story, guys. He works a lot better as a side character, solely because you're more focused on him doing badass shit than you are feeling nothing. Tension? Fuck off. Bada bing, bada boom. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. Just look at this fucking rhino. That's not a rhino. That's a computer. I almost feel like Marvel didn't care about the Black Panther, and then when it was time to actually release the goddamn movie, they gave them €1, and then they made the movie with the CG, and it just really shows how ugly it looks. Almost as ugly as my fucking toenail. Oh, this guy. Now it's time to talk about the big boy himself. Kill me please, I mean Killmonger. First, let's start with one of the main things people like about Killmonger. His motivation. Now, Killmonger wants to arm so-called oppressed people, in this case, black people, so then they can rise over their oppressors because of, you know, history and shit. Fun times, guys. And he plans on doing this by being the king of Wakanda, and sending all of their weapons to their brothers and sisters. Now, Killmonger's motivation is actually pretty good in concept. I mean, it creates an interesting conflict as Wakanda is basically bereft of mercy. And we've already established that Wakanda doesn't care about the outside world. So to have a villain that challenges that is actually pretty good. And it changes the pace from other villains in the MCU.
You choose, Spider-Man!
So how would they do it in practice? I mean, they had all the foundations there, so they couldn't really fuck it up, right?
So they can finally rise up and kill those in power and their children.
They fucked it up. In order to have a villain like this that works, you kinda have to make him have some kind of mercy. I mean, for fuck's sake, he looks like a damn Dragon Ball Z character, just smiling away whilst he attempts to kill people who are black, without a second thought or remorse. Like, look at him, what the fuck, movie? This just breeds inconsistency for the character, and makes it kind of hard to take him seriously. For a villain like this to work, you have to make him consistent with his actions and with his voice. Take, for example, Stain from My Big Nut. He believes that heroes should act heroically, and he will purge all the fakes that don't live up to that image of being a true hero. That's why he tries to kill this dickhead, because he wasn't being a hero. And the reason why he saved Deku's life, because he was actually being heroic and living up to Stain's ideals. Maybe if we could have had some little subtle moments with Killmonger. I mean, maybe something that shows that he hates killing black people. I mean, if you have to have him kill black people in the story, at least show that he doesn't like doing it. Maybe we can have him spare certain black people. For example, the ones who were connected to his dad's death, showing that his hatred will not come in between his goals. Or when he's fighting the T-Man, he can mention something about how he had to kill his own brothers and sisters just to get to this point of his plan. And for that reason, he will hurt the T-Man. These little moments will make him just a better character. But there's another problem with him. His motivations are just there. We don't really have a good reason for why he believes in his goals, because it doesn't establish his beliefs. Now, I know the lines like colonizer and like the bit in the fucking museum can justify his reasonings, as in the real world, people have this kind of mindset that Killmonger has. So it makes sense, right?
Wrong!
You see, the problem is that you need these outside sources to understand why his beliefs are there. It's the same argument as saying, oh, Destiny's got a good story because you can read it on the website, you brain dead fucking retard. We don't need to explore those beliefs because we just have to base it in real life, guys. No need to establish anything here. Why do we understand Syndrome's motivations? Is it because we can relate to the idea that some people are just born talented and others are not born talented? Why do we understand Scar's motivations? Because we've established that something bad happened in Ishval. So his anger towards the people who fucked his country is justified because something bad happened. Why do we understand Stain's motivations? Because we've established that there are heroes who don't always do things heroically, like Uraraka or Endeavor. With Killmonger, we don't have that. Instead, what we do get as an exploration of his character is the death of his dad, and for that reason, he hates Wakanda. Speaking of hatred, if we get rid of all the dialogue that has to do with race, and we get rid of the race part of the movie, I think we'll be having a stepping stone for a marvelous villain. Now hear me out, guys. What if we just focused on him hating and wanting to destroy Wakanda? Because when you really think about it,
Wakanda basically ruined his life.
killing his dad, leaving him alone without his father, and making him just
So full of hatred.
And scenes like these will make sense to his character. Why is he smiling like a despicable bitch? Because he's about to kill a Wakandan. Why is he burning down these plants like a little bitch? Because they're important to Wakanda. Why is he strangling this bitch like a bitch? Because she's Wakandan. And disobeyed him as well. There's that. Every action he will take will stem from his hatred to Wakanda, and will make actual conflict for T'Challa in this movie. As the conflict in the movie is just, don't kill people. No! But the problem is that the movie does not focus on this idea. Instead, it wants to focus on his race idea and his hatred idea, which makes just for a confusing oxymoron of a character, much like gay rights and religion. And that's fine if you want to make a confused character, but the problem is that the movie doesn't acknowledge that he's confused. The characters don't bring up the fact that his ideology makes no fucking sense.
Why are you making these gay-ass YouTube videos?
What?
You're gay, man.
I'm not gay.
You're gay?
No,
Gay boy?
I'm not.
Gay boy? Gay boy? Gay boy? Gay boy?
And there lies the problem with him. The movie tries to make him a deep character by making him have all of these motivations, to the point that he becomes just a confusing mess, and serves no purpose but to just make people go, I'm gay! Oh, wait, hold up, I need a bigger word, I need a much bigger word. I mean, like, this wouldn't be an analysis video without using a non-dyslexic friendly word. Oh, here's one. Bereaved. Now, in many ways, looking back at the MCU, it kinda makes sense why people think Killmonger is the best villain, since there are many ideas within Killmonger that are interesting and can create a meaningful fight. And I see that, but the problem is the execution is bad. And in the part about his hatred towards Wakanda, only works if you abandon his race motivation, which the movie doesn't do. And if we are judging a villain based on the ideas of what that villain should be, rather than how he actually is, then I don't know what to say, man.
Or maybe your home's the ones that's lost. That's why they can't find us.
Oh my god, Ned.
Get out of my room, John! Get out of my room, John! I mean it! Get out!
Get out!